Well, it's Friday. That means it's time for another head football coaches show with Duane Crawford from the Ellsworth Eagles. Coach, happy Friday, game day. You're heading on the road tonight down to East Machias.
Yes, we are, and I can't wait for 7 o'clock to come and get this thing going.
Yeah. Looking back on Facebook today, today's a special day. How many years ago did you award the first game ball?
That was 3 years ago, I believe, to Tug White. That was after our first win, the Friday night on Friday night down at Washington Academy. So it was pretty special. We had the whole team go up, and he was sitting in the car watching practice, and Declan, his grandson, had the ball in his hand, and we'd all signed it and awarded it to him, and it was a special evening.
Yeah,
I was wondering at one point if we'd ever get to that first win.
I know.
And we did, and so and that turned out to be the first win of 5 that season. So we ended up with a really good season, going 5-3 that year. But it was years and years and years in the making.
Oh, absolutely. These things don't happen overnight.
No, they don't. And Tug was our league president, and I remember clearly the day that we were putting this thing together, and I'm driving down Douglas Highway, and I talked to a couple of people, and I was talking to Faye, and I said, Faye, we really need somebody that's well known, and we could put a face with the program, and someone had mentioned that Tug was available and not doing anything and retired, and I called him up, and he said, I don't know how much help I'd be, but I'd love to do it. And he ended up being a lot of help and a great leader for us. And that was a very inspirational, tear-jerking moment presenting that ball to him. Well,
and you mentioned today that, he's watching over the Ellsworth Eagles as they play tonight in every game.
Yes, he didn't miss a game, and he would always be there, and regardless of what the circumstances or the outcome was, always tell you to keep your head up and don't let things get you down. And he was just a great mentor.
So how has the week gone? You lost a day. You had to probably go inside with all the rain, but how has practice been?
Yeah, we went in and we watched film and hated to lose that day, and but it was got to spend about an hour watching film, and I think that was beneficial because it gives them a visual of what they're doing, even though they have the ability to watch it on their own. They don't always do that. So, but it's been a great week of practice, and we've got we're up to 23 now, and everybody was there all week long. We had one missing yesterday for flu, but it's been a great week of practice, and we're starting to get into that part of the year where everybody pretty much knows their role and their assignments, and so things start to go a lot easier and start to really click, and there's a lot less adjusting and correcting and more just working on the execution and making things go fast. Just go out there and do it and go as fast as you can, and the offensive line are communicating well with one another, and defense is communicating, and so I'm looking forward to tonight to see where we actually fit in this whole, this LTC conference. And
it's funny because this right now you've only been practicing for about a month, but as we've talked, there's progression. There's every day is a step upon step upon step, until you finally get to that point where hopefully things are starting to click.
Yeah, and I think last Friday night was a big boost for everybody, and I think a big confidence boost, and so they're just building off that and feeling good about what they're doing, and I still have it's the same. The keys to victory tonight are the same as they were last Friday night. Special teams has got to do well, and we didn't do well last Friday night. Offensive line has got to talk and be able to do their job, and Washington Academy has some huge guys up front, so that's going to be a challenge, and then defensively, it's back to the same thing, setting those edges and not letting people get outside of us and forcing everything back into the middle. So if we can do those three things, then I think we're going to be in pretty good shape.
What time do you leave to head down to East Machias this afternoon?
3:30.
So, I mean, again, that's a whole process of getting everybody on the bus, getting everything packed up, making sure people eat, making sure people hydrate. I mean, because if kids are eating lunch at 11 o'clock or 10:30, 11 o'clock, it's a long time before 7 o'clock game time, and halftime at around 8:15. Their bodies are craving food.
Yes, yeah, it is. And we have, we had a team dinner last night, and our team parents do such a great job of doing that for us every Thursday night. Last night was another successful dinner, and the kids get plenty to eat, so they get to load up on Thursday night, and then, they get out at 1:30, 1:15, something like that. So there's some time there between getting on the bus that, and a lot of them do eat lunch. Lunches are at 10:30 or 11, depending on what lunch they have. So it is a long time. So it's crucial that they get as much in as they can before we get on that bus and head down there.
All right. Best of luck tonight. We'll talk to you on Monday, and go Eagles.
Hey, thanks, Chris.